Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thotgor here, of course, and today we are going to take a look at a battle in the Edinburgh. And, of course, we're grouped up with Rommel as well, and Rommel has finally got himself a Tier 8. It took forever. This is his first Tier 8 in the Hipper, and I think it's a great Tier 8, Tier 8 to have. I mean, obviously, the Hipper is controversial because I suppose not many people enjoy it, but she's one of my favorite cruisers at Tier 8. She is pretty phenomenal, but today we're in the Edinburgh. Now, little channel update, I suppose. So what I am going to do, someone has requested, well, I forget, maybe the last video before, that I take a look at the Algier and put a video out and kind of, take a look at how to play her and maybe do decent with her. And I've been working on that for the past several days, and it hasn't been easy. I have learned a lot more about the Algier, because when I went through the Algier, I actually was using the experience camo, so I went through her fairly quickly, but I'm revisiting it, and that is going to be upcoming in the next few days. Something else that I would like to do, and I'm hoping that would be well received by my subscribers, is a Stellaris game, but using the mod Star Trek New Horizons. I'm not sure how many people enjoy Stellaris, how many people enjoy Star Trek, but it is a phenomenal mod, and I think it would make for a great series. So if you would like to see that, please let me know in the comment section below, and of course look forward to the Algier video. So, Edinburgh. British cruisers, British light cruisers, should probably always make that note when you take out your British light cruisers. They are, in fact, light cruisers. They have no armor whatsoever. So basically, when you play this, little freeze there, I suppose, but basically when you play any of these British cruisers, especially the higher tier cruisers, once you start getting into your Leander and up, you definitely want to pay attention to who is firing at you. Is very important. On my Neptune, I do run the what is it, the radio location thing that tells you, points the direction of the ship that is closest to you. I do use that on the Neptune. I do find it useful, and I find it useful because I'm generally up front. Well, not up front, but, fairly close. I'm in close, trying to make use of my smoke and whatnot, right, with the destroyers. And so it is really handy to know what enemy ship is closest to me, and if I'm in the smoke and I don't see the player, or if I'm in smoke and I only see one ship and it's pointing towards that ship, well, I know that that's the closest ship to me, and so I can relatively focus on that ship in some sort of safety. Another very important thing to remember when you are in your British cruisers is that the smoke is very short. You get like one or two, or well, maybe two or three puffs of smoke there, and then it is done. So you must slow down before you engage your smoke. It is critical. I cannot stress it enough. I can't tell you how many times I've just sailed right through my smoke, come to a complete stop, not in smoke, in front of a bunch of enemy ships, and just get obliterated, right? So very important. You have to slow down. Generally speaking, in the Edinburgh and the Neptune anyway, if I am going 15 knots or below, I'll pop my smoke, and I know that I'm going to come to a stop in time. I believe that there's an indicator now on the throttle as well that would tell you exactly when. I've been playing ships for a while now, right? So I'm used to not having this handy little tool, so I do it my old school way, I suppose, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So torpedoes are on their way in. We are going to avoid these torpedoes. You can see we're shooting at the Charles Martel out there. We have some torpedoes, popping up. Would have been a good idea for me to pop my acoustic sonar ability, but I definitely did not think to do that at the time. Too concerned about trying to avoid torpedoes and get out of my smoke there, because obviously enemies know I'm in the smoke, and torpedoes are going to come towards that smoke. Another maybe quirky, I suppose. I'll explain why I struggle to use that word. Thing about these British light cruisers is the firing arcs, right? The firing arcs are very high, and I say quirky because they're quite high, and you have to lead the target a lot in order to get some shells landed in there. Now, the Americans especially the American destroyers, come to mind right away. They're very similar, so that's why I struggled to use Corky, because the American destroyers are fairly similar in that. So if you can fire in your American destroyers and land shots quite well, you should be able to do it in the British light cruisers with relative ease. Now, British light cruisers have an amazing reload, right? They fire very, very quickly, and that's a trait because of their low caliber guns. That being said, you really do want to try and land those shots, because it's very easy to just spray and pray with these cruisers. And I mean, if you have a Minotaur, that's the ultimate spray pray machine. But anyway, Edinburgh herself, she has a great reload, and I sort of enjoy the British light cruisers. I mean, they definitely grew on me. At first, I was sort of, of the opinion that, oh, they're new content, this is amazing, oh my god, new content, and I was loving them, right? And then you start, that sort of wears off, and you realize, well, now I've got, another ship to grind, and it's that thing, and it's a little difficult to play, to be honest. At first, there was a little bit of a learning curve there, so it just kind of goes to the wayside, right? But, they grew on me, and I really enjoy them. And what I enjoy so much about them is, for the cruisers that I play, no other cruiser that I play can just put as many shots downrange as my British cruisers. And if I'm sort of in the zone, on the cusp of the zone maybe, and I'm landing a lot of shots and I'm doing a bunch of damage, it is very, very gratifying. Now, you couple that with the smoke and a relatively good concealment, so you can get up fairly close. You've got great long-range torpedoes, which give you the single shot option, which is also a very good sort of little tool that the British cruisers offer you. And you can really dish out the damage and just obliterate people. Like an enemy battleship, an enemy Iowa can just come right up to you, may not even know that you're there. All the enemy Iowa knows is that there's a puff of smoke out there, and suddenly torpedoes come in, maybe one after the other, and just, four, I think it shoots a spread of 4, I'm not 100% sure right now. But anyway, and they can do just amazing damage. So definitely grew on me, and these sort of characteristics are the things that I've grown to like, and they're the only ships, the only class or nationality of ships that can offer that to me. I mean, obviously I love my Russian cruisers and my Germans and the Japanese and all that, but nothing else can quite do it like a British cruiser when I'm feeling, in that mood, I suppose. The armor-piercing shells themselves that the British cruisers fire, obviously, again, they're unique to the nation and to the class of ship itself. So they are quite good as well. You can see them landing shots in on the North Carolina. Granted, I'll never set a fire to North Carolina, but what it is doing is it's slowly bringing down the health of the North Carolina with these shots that land in. And the shots themselves do decent enough damage. Now, if you couple that with your fast reload and some, pretty good aiming, you can almost get a continuous stream of damage flowing here. It is quite amazing. I mean, again, I'm only on the Neptune. I don't have my Minotaur yet, and I very much look forward to getting that thing. I think it's going to be quite fun. But the Neptune is still enjoyable for me anyway. I do definitely enjoy taking her out, and the fast reload, it's just so amazing. Edinburgh does it for me as well. Now, what I guess got me wanting to play my British cruisers once more was I was watching Battle of the River Plate. It is an older war movie, I believe. I'm not sure when it came out. I can't even remember any of the actors. That's terrible. I would mention it, and I have nothing more to comment about this movie, but Battle of the River Plate. And it featured, it was a movie about the battle between 3 British light cruisers and the Graf Spee off the coast of Africa, the River Plate. So it just got me thinking about about British cruisers and wanting to play them, and sort of led to this game that we have here. One of the nice things about these British light cruisers as well is that they gobble up enemy destroyers and enemy cruisers who choose to sail broadside to you. They just gobble them up. I mean, even this North Carolina here is going to feel some of our wrath as well. And it's sort of, I do it too when I'm not in a British cruiser and a British cruiser is engaging me. The first few rounds come in and miss. The next rounds come in and do a bit of damage. Next rounds come in and do a bit more damage. And then it's just like, it's like a little, it's like a fly or whatever just pecking at you. Or maybe just one ant bite before the whole ants swarm you or whatever. And then suddenly, next thing you know, shots are coming in. And because you weren't paying attention, you're now broadside to these shots. Shots are coming in, you're like citadels are being scored on you, and it's just ridiculous. So the damage can really rack up very quickly, and if you're not paying attention, you can give the British cruisers the opportunity to really get those shots in there and let those armor-piercing shells do their work, right? Even to a bow on guys now there, I think we did about 1,000 damage or whatever. I know it's not much, but again, the quick reload, and it's going to add up to something. Now we do go ahead and get ourselves one of those achievements for the 2nd anniversary of Warships. So far I have unlocked the special camo for the Charles Martel, the Kiev, and the Z23. The only camo I really wanted was the Charles Martel, and now I've got that, so meh. The rest I'm not too concerned about. I think I have one more to unlock, and then I get the Conqueror camo, so it's okay. It gives extra experience, which is the main thing, commander experience. So that's the main thing for me anyway. So we do have the enemy guys now over there. We're putting shots into the player. Obviously, we're hidden away in our smoke, so the enemy player is not going to see us, which is pretty good. I thought about the torpedo option there, but in the heat of the moment, you could see that I did not switch to the single shot ability. Now, obviously, it doesn't really matter because the guy is now gone. We don't have to worry about the player anymore. But it would have been an option. And that's another little handy thing with the British light cruisers, and especially with the narrow gaps like that. It's not a matter of how many torpedoes in your spread can you get through the gap. It's just, switch to single shot and all of your torpedoes will go through the gap and hit the enemy ship potentially as well. So it's pretty great. You can see as well that in this battle I've been getting quite lucky with the smoke, and it is something that you do really want to pay attention to in your light cruisers, and it's another reason in your British light cruisers, and another reason why I do enjoy staying near my allied destroyers if possible, is I can utilize their smoke as well, right? It's very, 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 very important, and especially when you are so susceptible to taking large amounts of damage with, minimal shots coming in. Like a battleship could, at this point in time, especially where I'm half health, could just look at me and I could go down very, very easily. So it's not something that I want to have happen. So we can see the enemy Tirpitz gets taken out there as well. What's it, a Tirpitz? Maybe a Bismarck something battleship taken out there off in the distance. So this is good. So now it's going to afford us the opportunity to get into B and start capping that zone, because so far my team has only been able to hold on to the C zone. Now we do see an enemy cruiser pop up here as well. We've got an enemy York. I was quite concerned about this enemy York. Enemy York has good guns on her, and if this player decides to fire armor piercing at me, it looks like it's high explosive right now, I will go down quite quickly. Now I kind of freak out here a little and I do end up grounding myself, but luckily for me the enemy York continues to sail broadside to me. Not 100% sure why, but the player definitely did, and there we go. Player's gone. Second shots from the York come in. Turns out they're high explosive once again, to my luck. And I go ahead and put out the fire. Whew. That could have been very, 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 very bad. And it's that quick with your British cruisers. And that's, one of the main things that makes them so difficult and maybe unsatisfying to play for some people. You can't take any shots. It's just not going to happen. Sure, you can repair. You definitely can repair. But the repair is there not to keep you at 100% health or whatever. The repair is there just to prolong your longevity, I suppose, to make sure that in the right hands or in the right situations, you will actually survive to the end of the battle. So now that the enemy York is gone, we've managed to get around that island that popped out of nowhere, and we're steaming into B here, hoping, at least I was hoping, to get in on the cap points, but no, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. We do see some enemy ships pop up. We've got the enemy aircraft carrier coming right at me, so I'm definitely going to put some shots into this player. I would love to get an enemy aircraft carrier kill, because I believe at this point in time, I've been going through the honorable service campaigns and just doing one task at a time while I've been doing the whatchamacalls campaigns, Yamamoto campaigns, and I've had the aircraft carrier one for so long in a tier 8 or above, kill an enemy aircraft carrier, and I only need one more kill, so this would be so amazing. But speaking about aircraft carriers, it does remind me that in this game we are faced with, or we do have some Graf Zeppelins. Now the Graf Zeppelins obviously, are undergoing testing right now because they were released in a rush, like Wargaming finally admitted to, and hopefully they'll come back in a better form. I can say that what I have seen in battle from these Graf Zeppelins is the Graf Zeppelin Test 2. The Stukas on that thing just obliterate people. I've seen those Stukas come in, they're all grouped up. They only look like one squadron on the minimap, but they are all grouped up and come in and just obliterate like a 3/4 health Tirpitz or Bismarck. It's just gone. It's something to see. But anyway, battle is over. Victory is ours. We managed to kill the aircraft carrier. Unfortunately, I didn't get the kill, but whatever. Doesn't matter. Good battle. Solid battle in the old Edinburgh. So you can see 85,000 damage dealt. Not too bad. We do get ourselves some achievements here as well. And, it's fine if it's duplicates, right? Because you only need 2 duplicates to buy one of the collector item things. So it's quite easy to progress through anyway. You can see Rommel finished on top. I was so surprised to see Rommel there on top. I come in a solid 3rd, which is not too bad. And of course, we can see that some of the damage has been dealt out across various enemy ships. And when all is said and done, of course, we do end up walking away with 75,000 credits, so it's not a loss. We get a commander skill point there. So not a bad battle in the old Edinburgh. Definitely not spectacular, but this is sort of average battle that you're going to see in the Edinburgh as well. What you can expect. And I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it indeed. But anyway, I digress. That's the end of the video. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to hit the old like button if you did like today's video. Leave any comments for me in the video section below, especially if you would enjoy seeing a Star Trek Solaris game. And as well, may as well say, if there's any other ships you would like me to take a closer look at, assuming I have the ship, I will be more than happy to do so. And yeah, if you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button. As always, I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day.